Last week on the reset, we witnessed the shockwave of the subsidy removal, but that was just the first piece of a much larger puzzle. This week, we're diving into a world of multiple realities, where the value of your money depended on which door you walked through. Welcome back to the reset. So the subsidy was gone, the economy was reeling. But while Nigerians were grappling with soaring pump prices, the Tinubu administration was already moving to the next item on its reform agenda, an even more complex and fundamental issue: the foreign exchange system. Imagine walking into a supermarket for a crucial import, let's say a machine part or a bag of wheat. You see two price tags on the same item. One tag, let's call it the official tag, says 500, but it's only available to a select few with special access. The other tag, the real tag, the one for everyone else, says 900. That was Nigeria's FX system for years. We were a two-price tag nation, and it was creating a world of problems. This system was called the multiple exchange rate window. On one hand, there was an official rate set by the central bank, which was artificially strong. On the other, there was the parallel market, what we all know as the black market, where the Naira traded for what it was really worth based on supply and demand. The gap between these two rates was a chasm. And in that chasm, a lot of shady business thrived. If you were a well-connected individual or company who could get dollars at the official rate of, say, for 50, you could simply turn around, but the damage went deeper. For foreign investors, it was a major red flag. Think about it. Why would you bring millions of dollars into Nigeria if you couldn't be sure you could repatriate your profits at a transparent, realistic rate? The old system was like a sign on the door saying, "Investors, proceed with caution," and a healthy dose of skepticism. It choked off the foreign investment we desperately needed. So, just weeks after the subsidy removal, the central bank made its move. It collapsed all the different exchange windows into one single willing buyer, willing seller market. This was the famous FX unification. In simple terms, they tried to tear down the special VIP room and have everyone trade in the same open market. The immediate effect was what economists call a correction. Everyone else called it a crash. The Naira tumbled dramatically. The official rate effectively vanished, and the value of the currency plummeted towards the parallel market rate. Overnight, the cost of anything imported from your iPhone to the wheat used to make your bread, from foreign tuition to medical bills, shot up even further. It was a second massive inflationary punch, right on the heels of the first. So why inflict this second round of pain? The government's argument was that this was a necessary surgery. The goals were clear: transparency, no more hidden rates, no more arbitrage, one rate for everyone. This would, in theory, kill corruption in the FX market. Secondly, attract investment. By having a clear, market-driven rate, Nigeria was saying to the world, what you see is what you get. Your investments are safe here. The goal was to attract the foreign capital needed to build factories and create jobs. And finally, to let the central bank focus on its main job, fighting inflation and stabilizing the currency. It was a bet that short-term, sharp pain would lead to long-term, sustainable gain. The question was, and still is, how long is the short term? So the subsidy was removed. The FX system was unified to massive reforms, unleashing two powerful waves of price increases. It was a perfect storm heading straight for the wallet of every single Nigerian. How do you measure that storm? And what can possibly be done to shield people from it? The answer lies in the most talked about, most felt economic indicator of all: inflation. Next time on The Reset, we take on the tempest in episode 3, the inflation volcano, taming the tempest. We'll look at why prices kept soaring and what the government and central bank did to try and fight back. Thank you for watching The Reset. If you're finding this series helpful, please hit that like button, share it with one person who needs to understand this story, and subscribe to follow the journey. See you next time.